Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports. So today we're going to be talking about the Sim Racing Machines conversion kit for the McLaren GT3 wheel. Here we go.
Welcome to RTA Motorsports.
Alright, before we drop into our experience with this product, I'm going to just show you where you can actually check it out for yourself. So this is simracingmachines.com, and they do sell other types of wheel conversion kits for various different wheels, so that way you could use your wheels on direct drive. They have many pages, but right here, this is going to be the item we're going to look at, the Fanatec Mclaren GT3 wheel conversion kit. And you can see here it's 114 pounds right now. You're going to want to check out what your conversion rate is for where you are in the world. For the US dollar, it's about 146 and change at the moment, but of course that could change at any moment depending on the markets and all that. You do have a little bit of options here as to what quick releases you may be using, and then you do have some options here for your cables, and we're going to go over that a little bit later. You scroll down, you can see here that their base plate is to bolt directly to the McLaren wheel. They do have a solid 2mm carbon fiber cover. It does come with an aluminum spacer. We'll cover that a little bit later. And it's very important to note their conversion kits do not include any quick release adapters at all. This is just for the conversion kit itself. It's up to you, either through them or through a third-party source. Try to get your own quick release adapter, and we'll cover that a little bit later on, but this is where you can find it. Alright, before we talk completely about our experiences with this conversion kit, I want to go over some of the things here first. So you're not going to see an installation video, and unfortunately we lost that video footage, but I'm going to divert you guys to Sim Racing Garage. Barry did an excellent video with installation on there that you could follow, as well as TJR Sim and Dan DiMaggio. They all did excellent videos showing their experiences with installing that you could actually follow along with. I'll put their videos down in the description below. Okay, with that being said, my experience with installation was actually pretty nice. If you do like, building model cars or anything like that, you'll enjoy it. There's some small parts you have to keep track of. So you're going to want to have a little tray nearby to definitely keep your, screws nearby. But overall, it was pretty simple. I followed those videos that I said I'm going to put in the description, and it all was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It took me about an hour to do so, and I was really taking my time and looking at the details of things. The cables that are included with it, nothing seems to be too short. Everything was of appropriate length, which is very highly appreciated, especially the main cable that goes right up into the inside here is long enough where you don't feel like you're really fighting against yourself. Everything was really good. Again, you do have this aluminum spacer here, as well as the carbon fiber back. You have a 2 mil solid carbon fiber back that actually kind of matches the Fanatec McLaren GT3 wheel, even though the McLaren GT3 wheel is not made of real carbon fiber. It's nice how they actually kind of matched it with this plate in the back here. It's kind of hard to see with this quick release adapter in the way, but overall as a package, I do appreciate what it looks like. It's very high quality, high grade. It's all very solid, very strong, and I don't feel that the limiting factor as far as strength or anything like that while attaching this to a direct drive wheel is ever going to be the conversion kit itself. Everything is very solid as aluminum is, and everything looks really good. So the first thing I want to go into is really the major con of something like this. Well, let's go into what its uses are first. So Sim Racing Machines includes a metal spacer. I believe it's the B&G 40mm aluminum spacer in this conversion kit. It's already a part of it. It's nothing you can do about it. It's there. The reason I believe they included this is because then you can use like an Allen type wrench to install the conversion kit on the wheel itself, so you'll be able to fit it in this space. and then you could actually install whatever quick release you're using. We're using the B&G quick release like they use on the AccuForce on the conversion kit itself. So that way you have a little bit of room to fit something in there to install it. The downside to that is you have a 40mm spacer now. So that is going to decrease the distance that the wheel is going to be to you depending on where your wheelbase is mounted. For us, it's not as easy as just moving the wheel back 40mm, because when you move anything on our rig, the Prosimu T1000, it also tilts a little bit at the same time. So unfortunately, you know, we're having to get used to having the wheel 40mm closer, which isn't a big deal. It's not optimal comfort because I have the wheel kind of at the position that I want it to be when we're using the AccuForce Pro steering wheel. So when installing this, it's fine, it's manageable, but you're definitely going to want to note that it is going to bring the wheel 40mm closer to you, and a lot of us are not wanting to move our wheelbase back and forth just every time you switch a wheel. That's not really that convenient. The next point I want to make is that the Sim Racing Machines does have this beautiful USB cable. It's a very thick coiled USB cable that does stretch out quite a bit, but does have a little bit of tension to it also. So you're not really going to want to rely on that except for when it's wrapping around when you're turning. Beautiful that it is USB and it's easily manageable by just using a USB extender, but I do wish there was an option for us AccuForce users to have that, I believe it's an RJ11 6 cable option, so that way we could utilize the pass-through on our wheelbase we already have, instead of having to buy a USB extender and, you know, having to run it that way. I just wish, being that a lot of us are AccuForce users out there was an AccuForce option as an upgrade. You know, I'm sure a lot of us would have paid for that upgrade, but kind of wish that was an option there. So overall, I do gotta say I am very pleased and very happy with this conversion kit. What it set out to do is exactly what it does. It enables me to use my Fanatec Mclaren GT3 wheel that we have already owned and we already love using for GT3 style racing with our direct drive wheel, in this case our AccuForce wheelbase. Everything feels as normal as it should, although I am getting one weird little oddity, and I don't think it's the fault at all of this conversion kit. In Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is still at this point in time early release, we are getting a very long delay on this display from what's happening in real life. So if I shift, I probably get about a 10-second delay for it to actually register here. Doesn't affect anything in gameplay. When I shift, it's immediate in the gameplay. Just this delay is a little bit weird, and it doesn't really affect me, to be honest with you. Every other title, iRacing, rFactor 2, everything else is working as it should. It's just Assetto Corsa Competizione at this point in time. So I don't really feel that it's the fault of the conversion kit, but it's something that I never noticed when I had my wheel attached to our Fanatec wheelbase on the rig. So I feel I need to let you know about it. But overall, besides the fact that the wheel is now closer to us, I have gotten used to that. Everything is working as it should. All the buttons work as normal. All the paddles are instantaneous. They work just like they did before. I do have all my buttons available to me, and we do have our display working. It didn't really require any sort of software implementation other than just plugging it in and going. The Fanatec software that we already had installed from when we had our wheelbase recognized it, and it's working just fine. There's really no conflicts. Okay, so I just wanted to pause the video real quick. Upon further investigation, there is an actual issue with using this with the Fanatec GT3 wheel, and that's the two white rotary encoders on the top of the wheel do not work as they priorly have. It is addressed by Sim Racing Machines on their website. You could go to their website, and there's a video that they posted on how to get at least one of them working again for the most part, but they don't work as they used to. So if you use those quite frequently, you might want to further investigate. We don't really use them too frequently, so it doesn't much matter to us, but just wanted to bring that up to you guys. That I'm aware of, and I'm surprised that it actually just works. Because normally, if you're new to our channel, we always seem to have some sort of driver level or you know, software level issue. Everything works just fine. There's no conflicts between Sim Commander and this software running at the same time. It's all done in the background without any input from me. So overall, I am very happy that this works as it should. It does everything it's set out to do, and I could still use my Fanatec Mclaren GT3 wheel just as we were with GT3 style racing. And of course, if I ever just want to remove the wheel, it's as simple as taking the quick release off, disconnecting the USB cable, taking our AccuForce Pro wheel or any other wheel you use, attaching that, and attaching that cable, and now we're good to go. Alright everyone, hopefully you enjoyed this video on the Sim Racing Machines conversion kit. Hopefully I give you some useful information. You may be one of those people like us that already owns this Fanatec GT3 wheel and you're looking for an upgrade path in the future, or maybe you already own a direct drive wheel and you're looking at this wheel because it's probably one of the only GT3 style wheels that are out there at the moment. Hey, hopefully I give you some useful information. There's just a few things I want to cover real quick that I feel are very important when it comes to this conversion kit. Just last quick things. One is going to be the rotary encoders are addressed on their website. Again, you might want to look at that because again, they do not work quite as they did before. Number two, you do have that spacer, so that wheel is going to be closer to you. That may or may not matter to you at all. And lastly is going to be the cost. Now the cost of this is about, again, 146 and change, 147 US dollars, and that does not include a quick release option. You have to add on your quick release to that, and if you don't own the wheel, you're going to have to add the cost of the wheel to that. They do sell this as a package deal where you could get it already ready to go, so you could just put it on your rig, or you could buy everything individually. I would say I highly recommend it if you already own the wheel, or if you're heavy into GT3 style racing and you're very interested in getting this wheel already. If you're not and you're kind of seeing your options out there, there are many other options out there as far as wheels and conversion kits or button boxes, or you can even get the AccuForce button box. But this option in total is probably going to be one of the more cost-effective ways to go. All in, it's probably going to be cheaper than a lot of the other options that are out there. So overall, I really do like it and I do recommend it. If you have any other questions, post them in the comment box below. Again, we do have our Discord link in the description box below. It's new. There's a bunch of people still joining in, so definitely I would appreciate it if you did as well. And we do have our affiliate links in the description box if you want to help out the channel. Just click on one of those. You don't have to buy the product, but if you use the link, buy anything you were going to buy anyway on Amazon. It doesn't affect the cost at all to you, but you'll be helping out the channel in the end. I'm Crash, this is RTA Motorsports. Definitely subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.